Jerry, what have you been doing this week? What's your main thing?
So, my main thing always, I'm going to be totally honest, I go to conference to meet up face-to-face. So I think you guys know, or if you don't know, I love Twitter. Yeah, my goal on Twitter is to make a person-to-person connection. So with everybody I engage with. So I come here to see the people that I see maybe once or twice a year, people that I'll talk to 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week that I interact with. But I love the face-to-face time. I'm a people person. I'm a sales guy. So the highlight is all the people I've connected with here.
Oh, awesome. Who have you met new that like really like you're like, oh, this person like just like,
well, so we did. Oh boy, dude, that's like asking me who my favorite kid is. It's been interesting because this conference more than any, the people coming up have just been crazy with me getting back on Facebook and being on Twitter so much. I have literally, without my name badge on, have people coming up. You're Jerry Durham, and it's so cool. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So check this story out. I'm going to share this. Got to share this. So you wonder about the effect you have on people, and you think just that one person sitting across from you as a patient or someone you've given advice to. So a gentleman by the name of Tyler Tracy, I met him on Twitter 4 years ago. He was a tech at the time, not even going to PT school. We engaged on Twitter, and he'd ask me questions and we'd have conversations. He was a Spurs fan, I'm a Warriors fan. One day he posted he didn't get into PT school. And I reached out to him privately on Twitter and I said, hey man, here's my cell phone number. I said, let's talk about this interview so that you can knock it out of the park next time. So I'm here and I get a text from him when I land, and he said, hey, I want to have a drink. I want to buy you a drink. Can we meet in the bar tonight? I said, sure. So I've never met the guy face to face. He's local, Tyler Tracy. He shows up at the bar, drops a bottle of my favorite bourbon on the bar. He goes, I owe you this. He goes, do you remember the first time we met? I said, yeah, we met on Twitter. And he goes, do you remember the first thing you did? And I said, no. And he recalled that story. And he dropped the bourbon and he looked at me and he said, you are one of the top 3 most influential people in my professional career at this point. And it just floored me. It was like 9:30 at night. I'd been traveling all day. And so if you think you don't have an effect on people, if you don't think the words you're using, the engagement, the smiling, the being there for people, if you don't think you have effect, it doesn't matter, Facebook, Twitter, anything. So that's been my favorite.
That's cool.
Story.
Who's the most influential PT in your career?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I tell this story. So I haven't treated a patient in about 2 years, right? And to be honest, I don't want to treat patients anymore. So the biggest influence on my clinical career and actually steered me down the path of where I am today is Joe Farrell. And Joe Farrell just got honored by AAOMPT as like a Lifetime Achievement Award winner. And I had taken a course. I was so rudderless early on in my clinical career. I was standing across from people. I didn't know how to help them. I wasn't engaging in a good way. I tell people a story. I owe everybody I treated for the first 5 years a personal card saying, I'm sorry I fucked you up. Or didn't help you at all, or took your money, or whatever it was.
You helped them more than you think.
So Joe Farrell was by far, and here's the thing, and why even in what we're doing today, and all the front office staff and conversations, was he was the one who introduced me to Jeffrey Maitland. And Jeffrey Maitland has the best chapter ever on how to talk to a patient. It's called his Subjective Exam chapter. The book was written over 40 years ago. And it was the first thing I ever read in my life where I went, maybe it's not about me. Maybe it's about that person sitting across from me. So Joe Farrell for the clinical side and introducing me to Jeffrey Maitland was huge.
Awesome. Yeah, that's, I think last year at CSM, someone came up to me and was like, oh, Aaron, you've been blah, this. And then the next thing I saw some Adrian Lowe. And I was like, oh man, Adrian, your books have helped me and helped my patients so much. And then I was like, oh wait, that's like this whole circle of like who's influencing who, and it was really awesome.
That's the beauty of the conference. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't even look at the content anymore because I don't want to get caught up in that, because I want to save my time to run into you. I've run into Greg Todd. I was on Greg Todd's Facebook Live this morning for like 5 seconds because I crossed, and I want to stop and I want to see someone I haven't seen and spend 15 minutes talking to them, not going, oh, I got to go to this talk on ACL rehab.
Yeah.
And that's me. And there's a lot of good content here. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, it's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
I got one other story.
Yeah.
So I'm here also as a member of the private practice section, and I serve on the nominating committee. So I'm working the booth. We're trying to recruit signups. Woman comes running up, and she says, oh my God, I want to join Jerry Durham. You had such a big influence on me. I met you where? CashPT Nation.
Yeah.
She goes, I just started my own practice 2 weeks ago. I'm so excited and I'm so happy, and you've helped me out, and now I want to join the private practice section. And there are other people at the booth working the booth, dude, and I'm just sitting there grinning ear to ear. So really that cool. whole, the value and giving back and going, I got to be part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And so she was on her own, found something bigger in the CashPT Nation, and she wants to join PPS, to be part of something bigger and network with more and more people. So those are my
really awesome.
That's
so
stories,
cool.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
those are the two stories I'll tell when people go, how was conference?
Yeah,
those are the two stories I'll tell.
Hey, what's up, Kevin? How's it going? Hey, Katie, Shaheen, Joseph, how you guys doing? If you guys have questions for us about anything,
anything, man.
Like this is office hours.
I was in a great talk. I prefer you guys throw some questions, but I definitely want to share some of the content. I did go to one talk.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how important this talk was. It was so important. Sitting at a bar last night at 8:30 drinking. This talk was so important that my buddy pulled it up on his phone and I wrote it down on a freaking cocktail napkin. This was supporting my old fashioned, and then it became the most important piece of paper I had because it said where I had to be at 8 a.m. this morning.
Right.
So.
Right. There have been a lot of businesses that have been built on cocktail napkins.
Oh yeah, dude, I love those stories. And I've seen books written on like writing your business plan on a cocktail napkin.
Right. Amazing. I've had some of my best epiphanies after a hard workout in a shower.
Oh yeah, there you go,
like,
dude.
Boom! It just like lights up. And I'm like,
and there's a business idea like a dictation machine for the shower, right?
The shower.
You don't want to hear me sing in the shower, but it'd be for
or waterproof Siri.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
So, how you guys doing this week? How's practice coming along? You guys, we can turn this into an interview, but I want to give this time for you guys to ask questions. I know people post up questions in the group a lot. And what we're doing this year is a lot more online Facebook Live questions.
I knew we were going to get a billing.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
This is good.
Gregory, thanks for your question. So I know Jerry has a full billing department, but if you had to start from scratch, would you still use a billing department?
Great question. So Greg or Gregory, I'm going to assume it's Greg. So that's a great question, Greg. And I've been running through this a lot. Me personally, trying to figure out how I want to be able to help the people like you. What is the most efficient tool I can bring you as that one person who maybe is thinking, okay, I want to bring on an office staff or maybe one more PT and help you get to that point where then you can start to scale more quickly. And I've been spending a lot of time and energy on phone calls, and I've actually gotten some great feedback from people in this group this week, which I shared with you. So here's what I would do. Yeah. Here's what I would do. The first thing you have to do, Gregory, is you have to sit down and write what experience do you want to create for your customer, your client, your patient, this person who's going to come in and see you. Map that out first. What do I want to create? Because what you want to create today will scale. This thing will never change. It'll be like, I want someone to, from the first moment they see my ad until they call the office, until, whatever you want to create in the middle, till they get a welcome call, till they arrive in my office, till they meet the PT, all the course of care. What do I want to create? Then take a step back and go, okay, what fits into that experience for this patient? Because not everybody creates the same experience. So I'm not here to tell you what experience to create. I'm saying you have to outline that, and then that question can be better answered. So my big kick in 17 is to ask a better question. So I'm always looking, is there a level down deeper? And it's to create a better experience. Yep. Well, not a better experience. Create the experience first so you know now, do I want to hand over a super bill, which is fine. Do I want to bill? Now I'm starting to run this hybrid thing where will I check benefits and then turn around and do the billing elsewhere? So once you get that answered, you can then decide how you want to proceed with the billing.
Yeah, and I think a big question for me is, from where I didn't do that is I've always saw it as a way to provide an extra service for people. So it's like a value-added service that you can add to people that lowers the barrier. At the same time, when I started, I was like, I don't really have the resources to do that. But I do agree. It's like, what experience do you want to have for your people? I want like a quiet, private treatment room is like one of my experiences, and be able to listen to people. And other people have that, and other people don't. And so that's a thing for me. And it's not about the billing, but at the same time, the way Jerry's explained it. And for those of you who don't know Jerry, they started in network and they're all out of network.
Yeah, and went out of network after being in business for like 7-8 years, smack dab in the middle.
And so you kind of had this, you already had the infrastructure in place to be able to offer this service. So which is really awesome. So Joseph asked, Jerry, I'm structuring my business similar to yours, out of network with billing on my end. My question is, what were the biggest things you did to get post-op patients into the office? With whatever. Hey, what's up, Ben? So what are you doing to get post-op patients? And I'll say this, Jerry, maybe what he's asking is so I'm seeing my first post-op patient from a knee surgery, from an ACL replacement since I opened my business. I haven't seen those people since I was a student.
Why not? You mean in the clinic?
In my own clinic, in LeBauer PT, because physicians don't refer to me, the orthopedic surgeons don't refer to me. They've got their own PTs. And so this year I've got my first one. I was like, oh gosh, it's been 8 years since I treated someone for ACL reconstruction. But so, is there something that you're, It's easy. I know it's so easy that it was hard. And I was like, I do it like this, and one of my friends was like, yeah, it's easy. You just do this. I was like, oh yeah, but I see, so maybe he's coming. Maybe Joseph, is that where you're coming from? Is there something you're doing to get that type of person?
So I'm gonna take the long way around this, Joseph, and say you probably want to be engaged with that person before they have surgery, right?
Yes.
Right. That's I don't know if that's what you were thinking, but I'm reading this, and the longer I ponder it, it's like the better your relationship is beforehand. And by the way, relationship doesn't mean you know them, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's Google, because by the way, they're doing their research. Even if it's an acute injury, they're sitting around doing their research. So if they can make some kind of connection with you, whether it's Facebook ads or whether it's some kind of Google setup where they're going to find you when they type in ACL rehab, then you can start to build that relationship. And my favorite word, and it came out this morning in the course I went to, is trust. Capital T, capital R, capital U, capital S, capital T. And you can start to build trust in a Facebook ad. And then it continues when they call your office. So I'm going to say, think about and talk to Aaron how you can really find those people before they need you. And then, then the short answer would be relationship with a doctor, because there will be doctors who want the best for their patient. So let me answer with this. This is the one thing to take away. I get doctors all the time. So Jerry, I'd love to send you patients. Are you in network with insurances? So I was pausing. I say, can I ask you a question? They say, sure. And I say, what do you want for your patients? And then I let them tell me what they want. And if they say, well, I want an in-network clinic, I can say I'm not the right place, and we're done. And if they say, you know what, I want my patients to have one-on-one care, I want them to be taken care of, I can go, that's what I can give your patients. And I can give your patients that. And then if I'm not the right fit for them, I can get them to the right place. Will that work for you, doctor? So I turn that around.
Right.
So that's a great conversation.
That's awesome. So you're turning, I love it, because what you're doing is you're turning the power relationship around, and you're saying, this is what I have. So, I've done the same thing with people.
It's a great strategy for people in this group, for you.
It's like, what do you want for your patient?
Yeah. And make them tell you. Because, by the way, I'm going to tell you right now, the best thing they could do is save you so much time and money by going, I want an in-network clinic. And you're like, that's cool. I can help you find some. Here's 3 numbers of great PTs in town. Call these people. And you're done. No time, no energy, no nothing on that. Otherwise, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. By the way, I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that, man.
Yeah. What's up, Mandy? How's it going? What's up, Nate?
Nate, I know Nate.
Yeah. Nate was at the live with us yesterday at the lunch hour. Yeah, he's taller than me.
Yeah. There were like 2 guys taller than you.
Yeah. And I'm not always the tallest person in the room. Mm-hmm. So, how you guys doing? So Joseph, hopefully you got a great answer for that.
Okay,
that was
good,
awesome.
Good.
I think the thing is when we take this mindset of say, what kind of patients do I want? It's like, who do you want to serve? How do you want to serve them? And then we take it and say,
those
like,
always have to be the first two questions. I had someone real quick at the PPS booth came up and just said, so what's the biggest challenge you face? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? How much, you got 8 hours? You got 12 hours? I can talk. I said, let me give you, I'm going to answer the question you should have asked me. And I said, what are the first two steps you should take before, if you're thinking of opening a practice? And it was that right
Who do you want to serve and how do you want to serve them? And then you take that, so what that does is that gives you the power, because you got the patients on your side, and you can turn around and say, look, I've got 5,000 patients who come through my office. I'm looking for a place to send them for an ACL repair. Is that something that would you like to do that? And then you turn that around, you go to the physician and say, hey, look, I've got these patients that need to come in here.
Because it needs to be like this. It can't be doctor PT. And we can't have, it's got to be here. With, by the way, all serving the patient. Remember, it's all about the patient. So when you go to the doctor, what do you want for your patients? Here's how I can help you help your patients, right? So it's got to be about that.
Make it about them.
You got it, dude.
Right? Like, what do they want? Like Greg was saying that yesterday too. If you're,
did he?
Yeah, he was saying it's like you got to make it about them. It's like people have it only in for them. They're only thinking about themselves.
What's in it for me? Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. What's
Wi-Fi.
in it for me?
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, sorry. WIFM. Sorry, not Wi-Fi.
Oh, here we go. All right, I'm trying to find some. So, God, that was awesome. So, you guys have any other questions? Throw them in the chat box. We're here for a few more minutes. Yeah, we got some time. If you guys have anything, if there's anything that you've done recently, or like some wins, go ahead and share your wins. And if you have anything you're struggling with, any questions, it can be about in-network, out-of-network, starting your practice, whatever you want. This is just time for you guys to ask questions and get in-person answers. Okay, here's another question from Greg. He says, if I'm not planning to do billing, what do you look for with EMR? Any suggestions?
Yeah, if you're not planning on billing?
Yeah.
I'm serious. If you're not planning on billing, I wouldn't. What I'd look for in an EMR is ease of use, easy interface, right? Easily accessible wherever you are, and I believe he has that solution. I'm serious. Urson
and I created the inexpensive EMR. It's how do you use Google Apps and G Suite for your EMR. It doesn't scrub your notes for codes. It doesn't spit out anything. It allows you to keep a secure HIPAA compliant document in a SOAP format or whatever format you want. You can digital sign it and everything. The problem with EMR companies is they're built for billing. They want to charge you.
And you just, who is this? Greg?
And Greg, he says you're not going to do billing.
If you're not going to do billing.
Yeah. But if you're going to do balanced billing, well, you probably need something, right? Not necessarily. Do you guys need that?
Maybe. Let's not dig into that right now.
Into that.
I mean, we can have that discussion, but not.
Yeah, we can dig into that on the master class.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That we're doing in a few weeks. So, I think if you're not doing billing, Google EMR is the easiest way. And I can put the link in here.
I've been doing this 15 years. I'd go, if I wasn't billing, I'd go back to like a Google type system.
Yeah. So that's what I do, and it's easy. Because the benefit of EMR, they're charging you a percentage of your collections or a monthly fee, and the benefit is they're going to help you file a good claim.
Correct.
And if you're not filing claims, you don't need to really pay for all that.
Make sure your documentation reflects for billing.
Right.
Which is different than reflecting for what you need as the clinician.
Right. So I document, so I know what I did. I document to cover my ass, CYA, and I document to, and that's it. To prove that people were there.
Right. Prove they were there and to have a conversation with them about what's been occurring during their course of care.
Yeah.
You can reference back to goals and some changes, I started this technique 2 weeks ago, look where we've got to now. So it's more like a little history book is what it is.
Definitely. And I keep some things in the first page. It's like your goal, not just your goals, but what are those things that you're struggling doing, et cetera, so I can go back to people and say, hey, you told me at the beginning this was your concern. Is that a problem?
I've used it more for that than anything else.
And that's how I use it, and that's what I think is important. So, I think like the biggest struggle for some people is just seeing it done.
What do you mean
seeing it done? Like how do you do your practice? Like, I think I want to know what Jerry does. I think I want to do what Aaron does. It's like we can see it, because I know I've done this. Like even with Paul, like like I started looking at Paul's stuff, and I was like, oh, I had this idea about having multiple people, but I hadn't seen a good example that fit with what I was doing. It's like you see it, it's like you see the possibility, and I go, oh, now I can apply that to myself. Right. And I just that's my main thing that I'm having you here is because not everyone wants to do exactly like the complete out of network or cash like I'm doing, and people have that system already in place. They want to do it. So I think to be able to see what you've been showing people, I think is awesome, and it's eye-opening for people.
And it's going to get better even over the next couple of weeks. I got a couple phone calls to make when I get back and get some questions answered. I need some clarification on what some people are doing. So I'm hoping to bring a resource soon to everybody that's going to be a very viable, like it's not going to be an arm and a leg to, deliver a service or a value add that you want to deliver.
Right. What's the thing that you guys struggle most with your practice right now, like 2017 for San Francisco Sport and Spine? What's the number one thing that you're like, this is our problem this year we got to tackle, or this is where we can be better?
Better directed consumer stuff.
Yeah.
Getting off the provider bandwagon.
Yeah. Better. What's the percentage of people that come to you guys directly?
Ooh, dude, I haven't looked at that in a little bit. So here's the thing. Directly needs to be redefined too. Because remember, I've been in business 15 years. So I look at a return new patient. If someone has seen us before and they've come back, even if they've seen a doctor, I call that a direct referral, right? So a return new patient, I call direct referral. A direct access patient didn't go to the doctor. That is probably 30-40% of our business.
Did the new direct access laws in California change how you guys are doing anything?
Yes, because we can get them in, right.
You get them in without that
without
referral
having
burden.
to go back. Yeah, so it did, and we get a handful. The bulk of that 30 to 40% is return new patients.
Okay, and they can just get in without having to go get a script or whatever.
Because and that's a good thing about knowing our practice act and stuff. Nobody is ever told they have to go to the doctor to get something before they see us. Because if you're a return new patient, you had a doctor's visit. Right, and so they can get in the door.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we don't don't send anybody away.
Yeah, we're trying. Like we've got unrestricted, or it's not unrestricted. We've got restricted direct access, but it's restricted by minimal. Like I can do anything I want except manipulate the spine without a physician's referral. So I got to have a physician's referral to manipulate the spine, but I can put people in the right position and do a gentle mode, get a cavitation.
You are correct. You are correct.
And most people come to see me don't want to get jumped on or a running start.
Well, there you go.
There's a chiropractor in town that gives a running start. And you're like, I said, multiple people tell me about this. He gives a running start. I'm just like, oh my God. Like really chasing it. So, any of you guys have any other questions? We'll be here for just a few more minutes. If you're watching this and we're not live because you were treating a patient or doing something else right now, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and we'll come back and answer them later. But this has been awesome having you here, Jerry.
I do want to share something. So
of course.
I had planned on not attending any courses here, and showed you the napkin. So that popped up last night. So I actually got out of bed 2 hours earlier this morning to make that class than I had intended to get up. And as I said, I like to network, and most of my networking is done in a place that involves cocktail napkins. So it was about words that harm, words that heal. So kind of the pain science, if you guys have been listening along on that. And it was about how to apply it to the front office. So it's going mainstream, dude. And it was an awesome talk and a lot of research. So just so you guys know, you're headed down the right direction, and you guys thinking about how you want to set your practices up, and you want to really engage that customer, and you want to make sure everybody in the clinic is on the same page and having the same conversation. And it's not about you're broken. It's about, hey man, you found the right place.
Right.
We're here to help you. No, I understand you got some pain, but let's talk about maybe what you can or can't do. So tell me some of the things you want to do during the day. That's starting at the front desk. That's really getting a lot of mainstream play. So that was cool.
That's awesome. So Joseph has a question. When's the best time to bring on an administrative staff, and what are your guidelines? So what about you?
I think you
tell
know
me
this.
Yeah.
So Joseph, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd bring on admin before I brought on more practitioners. So if it's just you right now, your plan, I'm good. I'm just going to say this. Your plan has to be to bring on an admin. Don't even think I'm going to bring on another PT than an admin, because the admin will help grow the business faster, as he knows and as I've learned over the years. Your admin, your second hire should be that admin. They will actually grow the practice faster. So what you have to do, Joseph, and you may have some harder set guidelines, Aaron, but you need to figure out where your tipping point is, right? And then where you need someone, now that phone's ringing, I can't get to it, right? I need someone, emailing the doctors. I need someone helping me with my lead generation, whatever. That's that point you got to bring them in, because what happens is it's kind of that thing. You're going to get so busy and you're going to go, oh my God, what do I do now? And that's almost a little bit too late, because that admin should have been in earlier, greeting people at the door so you can finish up with the patient before and have all the paperwork done, and you can be ready to see that person on time, right? So that admin has to be the next hire. You're going to have to forego a little cash in your pocket, because you don't want to wait till this tipping point. You got to bring the admin in before. We can all stretch with patients, right? We all know, man, I've got a red line for 4 weeks before I'm going to bring in a PT. Do not set that bar for your admin. You got to be able to bring them in a little sooner.
I think so. This is my experience. And Jerry helped me a ton with hiring.
Yeah, that was fun.
We got on the phone. That was
fun.
Awesome. So this, after the reality of this set in, so I pay her. I started her at $15 an hour. Now I'm paying her $16. So we did that after 6 weeks. It took me 7 years to hire her, and I should have hired her probably 7 years ago, 6 years ago. So maybe not right when I started. I would say, learn your systems.
Yeah.
So do it all yourself, so you know your systems.
That's a great idea.
Start creating videos on how to onboard patients, how to have the conversation on the phone, how do you enter people in QuickBooks or whatever you're using. You start recording
Google
that.
EMR,
Google EMR, how to manage this, how to get new patients in there, and put them all on YouTube as a private link. And then that's the time, because I get back. So I pay her $16 an hour, and if I see 5 people, one on the hour, I get back an hour's worth of time every day. My hour's worth $135. So that 15 minutes in between patients, I get 4 of those back when I see 5 patients. She takes care of all that stuff, and during that time, I can finish my note. I can email back some people. I can shoot some messages off, and I can get home. I get back home at 6:30 instead of 7:15.
Yeah. So what a great way to make it.
So that's $16, and it really cost me about 18 or 20 to have her.
Right.
Is worth it, because my time is worth over $100. So I'm paying her $16 to do what I was doing instead of paying myself. I was paying myself $100 and something to do that. So don't wait too long, but know your systems, get some cash flow going, and it's really, at the end of the day, it's not as expensive as it seems.
Right, and it's actually more expensive not to hire her, because when you look at what he was doing at $150 an hour. Yeah, and she converts new patients better than I do. Yeah. So now how much is she worth?
Oh my gosh, she's worth a ton. She saved me money on. So we were getting these little loop bands with LeBauer physical therapy printed on them, and they said one of them $1.50 a piece, and she said, well, can we get them for $1 a piece? And they were like, okay. So she saved me $50 just on she's done that a couple times. Right. She's a great negotiator. And she saved me money left and right. She fills my schedule. She'll get people in. When I'm treating a patient, she'll call back patients. And we had a cancellation today, so she'll call 5 or 6 people, get someone in.
See, that's another great one. This is the stuff you guys need to be thinking about. So a patient calls to cancel. You're with the patient, and it's the patient that's like in 2 hours. Well, you could probably capture someone, right? Like we have maybe a wait list or something. You could probably capture someone who could make it. If he's answering the phone, now an hour goes by, you check the messages, you make a phone call, it's 45 minutes, and they're like, oh, damn, I wish I would have known an hour ago. Right. So there we go, the revenue being saved there, the ability for that person to get in, to know exactly, hey, Jerry, this is so-and-so over at LeBauer Physical Therapy. Aaron had an opening today at 2 just come up, and he said it was really important. He wanted me to call you because it was really important to get you in this week.
Listen to this.
Knows you're working
say that again.
Because he knows you're working toward. I know you're getting towards your goals, and they're almost completed. So he wanted to know if you want to come in today at 2 o'clock.
Yes, and you make that about me. Mm-hmm. So I love this when we were talking. It's like the appointment reminder. It's like Jerry wants me to call you,
dude. How many times, right? And by the way, we used to do this. This is why. Okay, so this is how we know, right? Yeah, this is Jerry calling from San Francisco Sport and Spine Physical Therapy. We had a cancellation today at 3 o'clock, and we were wondering if you wanted to come in at 3 o'clock. Why don't you give us a call back and let us know? Click. Versus, hey, Aaron, this is Jerry over at San Francisco Sport and Spine Physical Therapy. Your physical therapist, Kylene, asked me to give you a call because she had an opening today at 3, and she said you guys are doing great working towards your goals, and she really wants you to get in here so you can keep pushing forward.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. That's it.
I love it, man.
What's up, Bob? How's it going?
Yeah, that's great, dude. I love that.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I love
that
it.
welcome call and that thing right there, dude. What do we call it? We call it a wait list check, right?
Check.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So I loved how you contradict. If there's no more questions, I want to end with this. Like, you contradict that. So like you're. So that's the administrative person pimping you out.
Yeah.
Physical therapist.
Yeah.
And then there's the time when the administrative person can push you under the bus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For collecting past payments, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Briefly,
so I got on the
awesome.
back end. Yeah. So I started working with my billing department to assist with those people who, and we don't have a lot, who are going to go to collections. And we don't have a lot. We've been in business 15 years, and our billing issues have gotten smaller and smaller. They'll never be 0%. Nothing. Your no-show cancel rate will never be 0. Your arrival rate will never be 100%, right? But you always want to see what is the roof? How high can I get, or how low can I get? Turning people to collections. So I allowed, what I found was the step before. So let's say Aaron is the step before me, and then collections comes after me. I'm the last step. I empowered my team to throw me under the bus as he's making the call and say, hey, Jerry, I know we got this $500 bill. I gave him the ability to negotiate a better rate by throwing me under the bus. So Aaron can call and say, hey, Mr. Smith, I know we got this $500 bill. By the way, I really want to help you get this taken care of. Now, we've had this, as you know, this has been going on since June, and I just want to get this off the books, and the owner doesn't really see these books and everything. So I was going to throw you an offer, and we could keep this between you and me, that if you could pay $400 today or pay $200 over the next 2 months, then I'll make sure this thing gets zeroed out and you'll be free and clear. And I empowered him to have that conversation. And by the way, it's worked a couple times.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that. It's just like...
I told my team, throw me under the bus.
Yeah.
You make the deal. And by the way, the kicker was, I told him, you have to say it's your idea.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for you. He's not going to see this. He's going to see your name come off the books. We're all going to be happy. I can get you this discount. We'll just keep it between me and you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. It's like the administrative person has power to make some decisions.
Yeah, right. They're empowered to do that stuff.
Yeah, and then that makes them a better employee. They love it. And
they love it because now, by the way, they're the ones with that poor person on the other end of the phone, right? So give them the ability to make someone happy.
Yep. And it allows them to pivot off of you.
Yeah, and so we agree. We look at it together, and I'm like, well, how much? And he's like, yeah. So he almost knows how much we could discount any of them, right? So it's rarely getting me involved. Yeah, and then he gets to be the rock star, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck the owner. And he gets to be the rock star. Alan was the rock star.
Yeah, and you get 400 instead of 0.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Right.
And then by the way, I kept you. Alan kept you out of collections.
Yeah, that's awesome. From
Cheers.
CSM, this is Aaron and Jerry. Peace out.
Have an old fashioned on me.
Oh, yeah, that's your favorite drink, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.